Hey, good morning, everybody. Another Sunday. I'm so excited that we get to be here and worship together. So we've got a fun story ahead, and I can't wait to get to that. But first, I just want to review. So all month long, we've been talking about forgiveness. You'll remember that forgiveness is really a DIY project. You have to do it yourself. Nobody else can forgive somebody for you. So what is forgiveness? Important that we know that. So forgiveness is, it's deciding that somebody who has wronged you, what? That's right, they don't have to pay. That's a hard concept, but boy, it is so important. I can't wait to hear how God has been working out forgiveness in your lives. First though, I have a super fun game for us to play. Today, I really thought we could hammer home that forgiveness. Get it? Hammer. We're so punny. So I've recruited some helpers. Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Welcome. So glad you're here. I'm going to put this on you. Okay, you can keep on your, glasses. Maybe? Yeah. Up to you.
All right, I'll make it work.
Okay. That's supposed to cover your eyes. Let's see. Sorry. Don't want to pull it. Okay. And we're going to give you a little tool. Not there. We'll give it in back. Okay. So you're the hammer team. Hi, Cole. Welcome. Hi. So glad you're here today, too. All right. And so you're going to be the plier team. How cute that flower is. Just kidding. And so you guys are going to be cars. So go ahead and just sit down on the ground right there. Here. Yeah, there you go. All right. So we've got the plier team and the hammer team. Now here's the deal. You guys can only, in a sitting position, use your arms to help propel you. And you're going to be racing to get to the other side. Now, we've got social distancing rules here, so this is challenging, but I know they can do it. So here we go, the Great Tool Race.
Going down.
Oh man.
Oh, you're right.
Oh boy, here we go. On your marks, get set, go! You guys cheer him on at home. Wow! And it was Alex,
He cheated.
Alex got to the spot first. Great job. We're so glad. Do you feel like he cheated?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, do you think you could find forgiveness in your heart for him?
Oh, so somebody did cheat. I think I could find forgiveness in my heart.
You can. That's so awesome. All right. Well, I love just seeing forgiveness happen. Even more than that, I love worshiping. So will you guys join me now? We've got 3 awesome songs to sing today. The first one is Every Beat. I love this song because, number one, it reminds me of VBS from last year, which was super great. But it also reminds me that every beat of my heart, of my life, is praising God. So join me in praising now. I've got AJ here too. He's running sound bits for that. let's live his love today. All right, that is some good, fun worshiping. That last song that we're gonna sing today is called You Give Me Courage. And I love this one because God gives us courage to do all things. He gives us courage to do hard things and easy things. He gives us courage to forgive. So join with me in singing now, You Give Me Courage.
Strength.
Now it is time for dun da 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 Bible story. Total drama rama. I'm going to ask for my fine actors from last week to come back and play their roles again. You'll recall Alex, the father. That sounds like the Godfather. Cole, the younger son, and Byron Priat, the older son. So here we go. Last week we talked about a parable that Jesus told, but we didn't finish it. We saved the ending for today. What's a parable? Well, Jesus when he wanted to share something important, he would often use a story to explain what he meant. The religious leaders, the Pharisees, were grumbling about Jesus because they followed the rules so well. So then this happened. Let's do a quick recap to understand. So here we go, guys. You've got your lines ready. We're going to recap previously on the story of the lost son.
Father, give me my share of the family property.
Why, son? Why? All right, you can have it.
Yay! Party, party, party!
Woohoo!
Oh no, my money ran out, and now I have to feed those pigs while I starve. I'm still hungry. I'm going to eat pig slop. Wait, I've got an idea. I'll go home to see my father and beg for mercy.
Is that my son in the distance? Let's throw a party in honor of my lost son's return.
Woohoo! Oh yeah! Everybody party in the USA! Woo! Are you dancing? So, although the younger son wasted all of his money, his father welcomed him back and forgave him. It seemed like the perfect ending to a happy story. But Jesus wasn't done telling the story yet. As you may remember, there was the older brother. Dun dun dun. I think, Alex, that's you at the top of 5.
We're at 5?
You're on.
Oh, did I jump ahead?
Yeah, we're at 4.
We're on 4?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The father's older son was working in the fields. Suddenly, he heard a strange sound in the distance.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
What is that noise? Wait, are they having a party over there?
The older son was confused, kind of like I was a minute ago. Why would they be having a party? He called for a servant to see what was going on. The servant said, in the Bible, this is in the book of Luke. Luke is in the New Testament, by the way. Matthew, Mark, Luke, chapter 15, verse 27. It says, your brother has come home. Your father has killed the fattest calf. He has done this because your brother is back, safe and sound. His lost brother had finally come home. But the older son didn't see that as a reason to celebrate.
How could my father do this to me? There's no way I'm going in there.
So the father came out and begged the older son to join the party.
My son, please come celebrate with us.
Look, all these years I have always obeyed your orders. You never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But this son of yours wasted your money. Now he comes home, and for him you killed the fattest calf.
The father explained it. It wasn't that he didn't love the older son. He was just so happy that the younger son had come home.
My son, everything I have is yours, but we had to celebrate and be glad. This brother of yours was dead, and now he is alive again. He was lost, and now he is found.
Wow. That was so good and so dramatic. Thanks for joining us for the total drama-rama. Do you guys kind of feel like, though, that story just kind of ended? Like, we don't really know what happened. I mean, this is kind of one of those pick your own ending in a movie thing. Like, did the older son forgive like the father did? And did he come and be reunited to his brother? And did they have the biggest party ever? I know one thing. If he stayed outside in the fields, chances are he was pretty angry. And that dirt, probably took a mean shoveling, because, can't believe they're just gonna party, and he just spent everything. And he just got more and more bitter. That's not what God wants for us. Not at all. You see, our bottom line says, when you don't forgive, you miss out. When you don't forgive, you miss out. If the older brother didn't forgive his younger brother, and he was trapped in that anger and that bitterness, he couldn't come inside and enjoy the fattened calf. I don't know what that means, but I'm thinking it means steak and blue cheese sauce over the top. Yummo. I just know that if he didn't forgive, he didn't experience that fullness. And that's what God's calling us to. You see, God calls us to treat others the way we want to be treated. That older brother, maybe he's you. You feel like you always follow the rules, and yet there's other people who maybe aren't following the rules, and you see them benefiting, and that makes you kind of angry. What if you did this? What if you stopped and forgave them and shared in their joy, celebrated with them? Then y'all could enjoy a party. I hope you did get to enjoy a party this week. I know that was a challenge last week, was to throw a party for your family, and I hope you had a grand celebration. I hope that if you were mad at your brother or sister earlier that day, that you were able to forgive them and to really enjoy the brownies or the pizza or whatever it was that you enjoyed together. I just want to encourage you, in these times, it's important to forgive. Look for ways to do that. Decide that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. Will you join me in prayer? God, we thank you for this story about the prodigal son and his older brother. God, sometimes we lose track of this character, and yet he plays such an important part, because all too often, that's me, God. That's us. That's us harboring resentment and anger, the bitterness. And God, we know that that isn't from you. We know that you are the God of forgiveness. God, with the same measure that we have been forgiven, would we be that much more willing to forgive others? God, we love you, and I just thank you. God, I thank you that we can come together virtually and worship, and that we can learn these stories, God, that your word is true and it is timeless. And there is something for us to learn in it all the time. God, would we leave today changed and really with hearts stirred and spurred on to forgiveness. So we love you, God, and we thank you for your abundant grace and mercy that we don't deserve, but you pour out on us. We love you, and it's in your name. Amen. So thanks again for joining us. Hey, there's going to be some activities that follow, and I just want to encourage you, dive into those activities, because those are the ways that you can further learn about forgiveness. It's a gift from God. So thanks, be blessed. We'll see you again next week. Hi, so ready to do some activities to help enforce forgiveness? I'm excited. I love that story of the prodigal son, and I love that part of the older brother, because it really always makes me think, how often is that me where I'm harboring something that I need to forgive? And so, as much the teacher as the student always. So I'm excited. Hey, here's some supplies you're going to need today. Scissors, glue stick, a pen, some crayons if you have some coins, hole punch if you have it, ribbon, and then a paper plate, and paper. And then if you have it, some scrap paper. I just happen to scrapbook, so I have lots of it. And did I mention a picture of yourself? Kind of looks just like me now. I just printed it so I could have it. But here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out our head. So just giving myself a little trim from the page here. Oh, all those edges go every direction. So basically, it'll look like this. Now, the next thing you're going to do is take a piece of paper. You're going to fold it in half like a hot dog, long ways. And now you're going to cut where that crease is. So here we go, just cutting along that crease. If you have tape, it would probably be preferable to use tape in this spot, but it's okay. If not, either way will be good. And so what you're going to do now, you want to take this paper and basically you want to fold it. Let me turn that down so you can see what I'm doing. Fold it about so that each end covers about half, like that. So if I opened it up, does that make sense? Now we're going to put me right here. And so I'm going to glue along the bottom there. And I'm going to push it right here on that edge. So it looks kind of like that. Okay. Now, with a plain piece of paper that I thought I had, but that's okay. I'll improvise and use this. I'm going to trace my hand. Got kind of a bigger hand, so I'm going to do this. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to attempt to trace this hand. So obviously I'm right-handed. So tracing my right hand becomes a challenge. Parents, this is a great way for you to help your kiddos. You can trace their hands for them and they can do the cutting. We love, love, love for our kiddos to use the scissors. That's great practice. So now I've got my, can you see where I drew my hands? Yeah, Miss Stacy's a real artist. So we're going to cut them out now. Just like this. I wish I had time lapse so like you didn't have to sit here and watch me cut, but you get the picture. So you're cutting out your hands. Yeah. All right. And now, let's see. So our hand is going to get glued to that end like that. And then if you want to be fancy, which sometimes I like to be, You could even, like, if you're a girl and you want to, like, paint your nails, you can absolutely do that. Just give yourself a little nail bed. See how fancy that is? And if you even want to do like the power nail, so do one nail different on each hand, that's so fun, so trendy. I love it. But we're just going to give fingernails here to my hand. I wish my real nails were painted. Maybe I'll have time to stop and do that before too long. But that's what it's going to look like. Okay, so we're going to do the same with the other hand. We're going to cut it out. And remember, you can, if you're a young lady and you'd like to decorate your nails, that is super fantastic. Some guys really enjoy drawing the natural nail bed. You could even put dirt in there. Or you've been out working in it, working so hard. But here we go. We've got the other hand. And so now we're going to attach that one as well. A little glue. All right. And then drawing my fingernails. And now I can kind of bend my fingers because otherwise. But basically, it's giving you a giant hug. And on the inside, we're going to write that God's love and forgiveness is for everyone. God's love and forgiveness is for everyone. And it reminds me of, in our story today, when that father was just so happy to see his son that he just opened his arms up so big and wide, and that's just what God is doing. So hey, who are you going to share your hug with? Who needs to know about God's love and forgiveness? I bet there's somebody really special in your life. Mail this to them. It will fit in an envelope. Can you imagine the grandparent who opens the mailbox and gets their cute grandkid's face? That would be very special. So have fun. That's the first craft. Second craft that I'm going to encourage you to do today is you're going to make a coin pouch. So you can do that by either taking 2 plates, or if you have paper instead. Oh, that was white paper. You can take paper like cardstock, or construction paper is best just because it's a little thicker. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to draw like a U shape. That's going to be the coin pouch. And then if you want to get fancy, you could even have a little pouch that flips over the top. So I'm just going to draw that. And let's see. So I'm going to do a big U shape here. So let me show you what I'm doing. Big U shape. That looks like that. And then I'm going to draw this big piece up here. I might have to trim it down. I'll have to see. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut both pieces of paper out. I have 2 pieces, by the way. 1, 2. I'm holding them together while I cut this. And I'm just cutting along what I traced there. All right. And then up the top here. Okay, very good. Now, I didn't do the best job cutting, so you can kind of see my rough lines. So I'm going to make this part, kind of the back, and the prettier part will be the front. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut on this front one, I'm going to cut straight across like that. And then you can attach these two together, and this will flip down, kind of like the pouch. If you have a button, you could glue it there, whatever you'd like to do. You're going to hole punch along the sides, and then you're going to lace it, and that's what's going to give you the coin purse. So here we go. And then you take the string and you're gonna lace it in and out. So here we go. So you go over and under, pull it back up and through. See how fancy that is? It's like we're really making a beautiful coin purse. Do you remember in our story today that younger son, he took all the money and he spent it all, and he spent it on silly things. Today it would be like spending it on pizza and video games and I don't know what other fun things. Maybe, you know, those like baby bottle candies. I know everyone likes those a lot. Maybe he'd buy a whole case of those. He'd probably, I don't know what else he would do, but he would just live it up, spending that money rather than maybe saving some back, saving it for the future. I know you guys are in elementary school right now, and so a lot of you aren't really thinking about college yet, but you know, it's coming up. It will be here before you know it. So it's a good idea to save back some of your pennies and really start getting ready for the future. So we're just about done here lacing. And when we're done lacing, then we can decorate the rest of this. Okay. I happen to have pink string today, so that's kind of why I used that. But please feel free to use whatever you have at home. Maybe you have an old pair of shoes or an old shoelace that you're not really using. That's a great thing to use. I'm going to cut my string. Oops, cut so clean. And then I'm going to tie it together. I bet all my kindergartners are professional shoe tiers right now, so they'll welcome the opportunity to tie. And that's what we've got. Now, why in the world did I have you have coins? Great question. It's so you can decorate your bag with it. If you put a quarter below and then you just run your crayon over it, you're going to get like the imprint of the coin. If nothing else, you'll get a cute polka dot. And that's fun too. If you look real carefully, you can see the shadow there, which is fun. But you can do that all over if you want. Again, just little reminders from today's story about the prodigal son who just blew his money, but that daddy forgave him, just like our daddy, God, forgives us. So will you have fun finishing decorating your purse? Can't wait to see you carrying your tithes and offerings back to church in it. Take care and have a blessed week, everyone.